How's it going, happy campers, and welcome back to another episode of Trailmakers Creations. In this episode, we are going to start with my trophy truck. Trophy Truck 2050. It's a kind of a... I was trying to use these truck tires to make something that actually goes fast, because they're actually pretty heavy tires, and it's tough to make them go fast. So I was also trying to experiment with some suspension, and this is what I actually call bullhorn suspension. Because there's nothing touching from the middle of the frame of the body all the way out to the outside of the wheel, but there's a lot of suspension in the way there. There's also some pretty wild steering happening in the whole frame itself. Just hinges, but the whole wheel turns with the suspension. You can see some little mini thrusters there on the side to help with the steering. Because again, in the sand and the dirt, not so good at steering. Spacebar gives us our thrust. Had to throw some extra thrust in there just to actually get some speed built up. This actually does pretty good for off-roading. It's got pretty decent suspension. Takes jumps pretty good. It's got a nice big fin in the back there. Oh, miss it. Oh! Oh, big explosion. Big explosion. Just nipped that loop. So yeah, that is the Trophy Truck 2050. Tried a couple of new things there. Just trying to keep a nice sleek body design. But again, those tires are pretty heavy. Testing a new suspension system. But as you can see, lots of motors in there. Lots of engines. But it's still, you need thrusters to make these tires go quick. Same suspension in the back here, as you can see. Lots in the body, and then up to the two arms that reach out to the side, then they connect, and then down to the tires. But again, unfortunately, just one connection point on the tires, so it doesn't really matter how much suspension you have connected to it. There's still only one connection point that needs to break, and off goes your wheel. Alright, let's take a look at our next build, shall we? Alright, ladies and gents, this here is the Gimbal Bomber. That's right, that's a bomber. That's a pretty tiny bomber, eh? It's a little mini bomber. But the cool thing about these bombs, there's two bombs on it. The cool thing is you can see the gimbal jets on there. And the gimbal jets are set to a negative number. So when you drop them, they pull themselves to the ground. They don't fall to the ground. So they pull themselves to the ground, which means it removes a lot of the forward momentum that the bombs have after you drop them. You know, this thing moves at like 350, 400 kilometers an hour. So when you drop the bombs, it's going to be landing 100 kilometers away from where you actually dropped your bomb. So really hard to actually hit anything. So I decided, okay, well, what if you drop them and the bombs just go straight down? Pull themselves straight down, right over top. So we have the Snow Angel sitting over here on the deck. And we're going to class that as the enemy. And we're going to see just how easy it is to bomb that with our little gimbal bomber here. So spacebar. And again, we can see here the bombs are actually just made out of an XOR gate, which is connected to the gimbal, and the dynamite, obviously, which is going to explode when it hits the ground, and the detachable block. And that's it. That's all she wrote. The bombs are on pistons, so when you hit your left shift to drop your bombs, the pistons extend out, and then they drop, so there's like a 1 second delay in the actual dropping of the bombs. But that doesn't really make any difference because they fall down to the ground pretty quick. So as you can see, this thing's got some decent speed to it. Flies real good. Flies nice and straight once you're going straight. So it's really good for bombing. So we'll spin around. Just seat controls for the steering except for your pitch, which is in the back. So that is there. And then we'll go left shift. Oh, pretty close. Pretty close. Let's go down to the ground here. We got to rearm. Without hitting that backspace so we don't get rid of any other creations that we have in the level. So we're going to try that again. So we were a little bit late. So this time we're going to drop them a little bit sooner. And hopefully we can blast that thing right off the deck. Here we go. In like this. Bombing run commence. Left shift. Oh, had the right distance, just wasn't in line. Need some more bombas. There we go. And that's a total miss. Total miss. We're gonna get this yet. I'm gonna get this. You watch. There we go. Line it up. And bombs away. Oh, nice. Let's go check out the damage. Oh yeah, we definitely hit it. On the front end. The damage has been done. This plane is going... Where's it going? Nowhere. That's right. So that is the Gimbal Bomber. Mini. Little mini bomber jet. Actually works pretty good. I'm working on a bigger version, of course. Everything bigger, better. Alright, on to the next build we go. Our next build is this beast of a monstrosity. Hey, come on, settle down, settle down. So, this beast... It's tough to explain because there's no, there's no seat. There's a seat in it, but that's simply to get in and out of it. So let's just rebuild here. Hopefully it'll stay in one spot. So this is a two-man hovership. This was actually built for Scrapman and the boys. It's for multiplayer. So if you guys want to check this thing out, that'd be fantastic. I think it'll be all kinds of fun. There's a couple of challenges in the description as well. Try and fly through as many rings of fire as you can with this. The only downside with this is that... Okay, can we stop rocking? I'm getting seasick. Up in the air. Fly, fly, fly. Fly, fly, fly. So, there's no seats in here to control any of this stuff. And then we can come back here to the yellow station and we can hover. So, the green up front is your steering area. That's where you can turn and you can go forward. The red is your flying area. That brings up your... small helicopter blades and the pistons that extend out and then lift you up. That's for vertical lift. And then the yellow area back here brings those down but keeps enough lifted for you to stay hovering in one spot. So while this guy's back here doing the hovering and the flying, there needs to be another dude up here doing the steering and the driving, because he will just fall to the ground if you try and do it yourself. Or you'll just fall right out of the hovership. Oh! And it's not aquatic. You will get kicked out of the seat because there ain't no seat. Well, there's that one seat in there, but that's just so that when you're on the outside of it, you can just hit F to get in the seat and then F to jump out of the seat and then you're in the ship. You can see some coverage here so that you don't get blasted out of the ship when it's moving up or down. And some walls there so that you don't get pushed outside of the ship itself. You can see we got touch in front of these sensors on this side is for steering that way. These sensors are for steering that way. All these ones here in the front are for going forward. So you basically have to keep your player character moving forward in order to, or else he'll just get moved back away from the sensors. And then back into the red area here to fly. Get airborne. There we go. And then back here to yellow we can hover. Now I was going to make it originally a 3-man. So you could have a gunner and then the pilot and the guy that's driving it, but no room. Maybe the next version, I'll put some cannons on there and specifically build it this way. This was just again, proof of concept that you could actually create a multiplayer vehicle without using any seats, and it worked. So that is the 2-man hovership. That'll be available on the shop. So if you get a chance there, Scrapper, check it out. I think you guys had fun. Alright, our next build. This is a anti-aircraft, auto-targeting anti-aircraft turret. This was a viewer request. I had one of my viewers ask me to build an auto-tracking AA cannon. Again, we are limited by the 50-meter sensor range. But yeah, this definitely got lots of guns. It's got 20 of them little mini cannons on it. The only safe spot is like directly above it. It doesn't fire straight up. But anywhere else, yep, even on the ground, over here. So see, a great example would be, let's see, we'll spawn something in. Here we go, we'll spawn in our hot rod from our building a hot rod video. And we'll see how quick this gun can take it apart. Hey man, I think there's something wrong with your car, man. There goes the wheels. Haha, it's taking it apart pretty good. So you can see it sprays a line, a double line actually, up at like a 45-degree angle or a 60-degree angle. No, shoot the vehicle, man. Don't shoot me. It does try and track multiple targets, but it's better when it's way more effective when it just uses one. Okay, so this thing is just about toast. So you can see it's fairly accurate. Anything that's above the ground or anything that those sensors detect, it will fire. And now that the bullets are faster, they actually get to where they're going right away. So the fire tree. We'll try and bomb the fire tree with the Gimbal Bomber. Go, 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 go. Prepare. Now take off. Go, go, go. You're going to end up getting shot before you even get in the air. Oh, way, way, way off target. Way off target. Okay, let's do a flyby. Do a glide by. Okay, let's rearm. We'll try and bomb it. Okay, Mr. Fire Tree. You're toast. Toastalio. Ooh, pretty close. Okay, let's come gliding past. What's that thing? Ooh. But again, prototype, proof of concept. Trying to make an automatic anti-aircraft gun. It's not easy, especially with the limited range. But it is fun to watch it destroy stuff. Great guard turret. So that is the Fire Tree. That'll be available on the shop if you're interested in checking it out. Let's take a look at our final build of this video. Last but not least is the fold-up walker. So this is what he looks like when he's folded up. Doesn't look like much, nothing. It's a sentry guard basically. Standing, you can see two of them on either side of a big gateway or something like that. Then you hit number 1. And Fireface appears. You can see he's got his cannons. Mean dude. A and D turns his upper body. Boom it a boom. And again, number 1 will fold him back up, but number 2 will get him walking. Yes, indeed, I was talking. Now, he's not winning any races. He's not related to Usain Bolt in any way, shape, or form. But he's walking. No stabilizers, and he's fully bionic. So the only 6 power cores that you see on him are the 2 guns on his hands. And other than that, there is nothing. No helicopter engines, no gimbals, no stabilizers, no mini jets, nothing like that. He's walking on his own. You can hit number 2 to stop the walking. And number 1, fold him back up. Just like that. And you can shoot behind you. So you can see the head is back here and you're sitting upside down, which is why I may be wondering why the image, the placeholder image in the shop is upside down. Hard to see what the hell it is. It's because the seat is upside down. So when we hit number 1, you can see that this lifts, the sides fold out, the top arches out, separates, and then the head comes out from in between, from the back. And the arms extend out too. So that was a fun build. See how much you can actually get into one compact shape like that. So I just started with the legs and the pistons inside. Drop the legs to the inside of the legs. Bring everything together with the pistons in the hips there. The servo, and then in the body is a bunch of small hinges that you can see under that glowing yellow piece there. So those small hinges fold back on themselves and collapse in, which allows the top to fold down. And then I tried to set the extending of the pieces to happen, like a second apart, so you can actually see the different parts unfolding and opening up, instead of everything just happening all at once. And of course he's got some fire pits for eyes, and he's got some antlers for the top of his head there, if you want to call that hair, horns, whatever it is. And there's our seat up top there. We got some fancy looking cosmetic pieces up there as well. Now you can't turn him a bit using your WASD. Again, he's not taking very big steps, so there is no actual steering. As you can see, if you just keep holding to the left like this, he'll actually turn to the left a bit. If you turn and hold to the right, once it gets all the way to the right, and hold that way, he'll turn that way a bit. But like I said, he's not winning any races. He wasn't really built for speed. He was just built to look cool. He's a guard. Be on guard. Hey man, boss is coming. And sometimes he doesn't fold up properly. You know what I mean? Up to the side like a wee bit. So yeah, that is the fold-up walker. He will be available on the shop for your fold-up pleasure. Alright guys, I think that's where we're going to leave it. That's all I got for you today. Actually, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. Hang on, let me get some. So here's a sneak peek of something I'm working on. It's a big ring. Like a big ring. And my seat be in the middle. Y'all know what inspired this, right? And my seat be in the middle like this. And then we hit 1 and 2 simultaneously. And we are now detached from the ring. Oh, it looks like we are missing a part. That's alright. So, as you can see, the ring is spinning, but where I'm sitting in the middle here, I can still rotate it. W gives me my thrusters, spacebar gives me vertical lift. It's eating my frames like it's lunch. But my centerpiece is not connected except by magnets, but I can still rotate my seat around. And my thrusters, so I can still drive in the direction that I want to go. The outside of the ring as well is not connected. Just magnets. As well as the inside there, you can see those magnets holding the core. Again, really difficult to try and get this stable, this giant spinning ring to stay flat while you're trying to maneuver around in different directions. But that is the big spaceship, big mothership I'm working on. So there you go, a little sneak peek for something that's in the works. Alright guys, I think we're going to leave that one here. Don't forget to hit subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment, and we will see you in the next one. Ciao.